If I were starting my music school again from scratch,
You're the founder, you're the first teacher they had, you're the one they want for their child. They think you're the best.
Whatever it takes to offer that amazing student experience.
Have you ever wondered what you'd do if you had to build a music school from scratch with 0 students? Well, in this video, we're going to be diving exactly into that. How to build a thriving music school from the ground up. Hey everybody, my name is Nick, and like I said, in this video, I'm going to walk you through the strategies and the tips and the mindsets that you need to get your music school off the ground. So maybe you're in a spot where you're trying to escape the 9-to-5 grind, or you're looking to start a music teaching business, or maybe you just need some fresh ideas to grow your existing school. These insights are going to be super helpful for you. And what's awesome is I have gathered some amazing insights from our top music school coaches in our Build a Music School membership. And these are school owners who have built massive schools all around the world, some with hundreds and even thousands of students. And guess what? They have been through it all. And today they're going to be sharing what they would do if they had to start over from scratch. And if you stick around until the very end of this video, I am going to give you my best idea that helped me scale my school quickly and efficiently. It's something I wish I knew when I was starting out. And the best part is, these ideas are totally free that I am going to share with you. So listen up. Grab your pen, grab your paper, take down all these incredible ideas, and make sure to stick around until the very end to hear my top tips. Let's dive into what our coaches have to say. You guys are going to love this.
if I were starting my music school again from scratch, the first thing that I would do would be invest in business coaching or a group like Build a Music School. It's incredible to have all of the kind of challenges and solutions to those challenges lined up for us here in this group. And it makes the learning curve much quicker. Another thing is just to invest in professional services like accounting, bookkeeping, employment attorneys, lease attorneys, etc., so that you have support and that you don't have to be the expert in every single layer of your business.
Okay, if I was starting a music school from zero, oh man, and if I knew what I know now and was starting from zero, this is probably what I would do. I would say that the biggest thing I want to work on is systems. So I would make sure that all my systems were in place. I would think big. I would think I'm going to one day have 500 students or 1,000 students. And if I have 1,000 students, what systems do I need in place to be able to get there? What does my makeup policy look like? What does my enrollment process look like? What is the streamline, the funnel for students to be able to enroll seamlessly online if that's what we want to do? Do I want to do private or group lessons, or do I want to offer both? And so I would really look at 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road, and 1,000 students and maybe multiple locations. Like, look at the grand picture and then work backwards. Like, how do I get there? And when I'm there, what would I want to be in place? I think so many times, if you don't do that and you think smaller and just see what's right in front of you, which sometimes is hard not to do, right? Just what's right in front of you, then you kind of like tackle that hurdle. And then you get to the next one, you tackle that hurdle. But there's like hundreds of hurdles that you're doing. And a lot of them could have been avoided. A lot of them you're repeating multiple times, going, okay, I need a makeup policy. So you set a makeup policy, and your makeup policy is, as long as you give us 24 hours notice, you can schedule makeup whenever you want. Right. And then you realize quickly that some teachers, as you expand to, let's say, 100 students, some teachers have a lot of time, right? Because their schedule is just filling up, so they can do a makeup lesson with a parent or with a student. But other teachers are full, so they literally can't do a makeup. There's no time for them to do a makeup lesson, and then those students don't get the option to do a makeup lesson. So now you've got to revamp your policy. Okay, well, I need it to be fair. So okay, then you can get a credit, or you could be with another teacher, or so you're constantly having to like redo some of your policies as you get bigger. So if you can think bigger from the start and see, is this scalable? Right? Am I going to be able to scale this? So that would be one thing. And then the other thing I would do, man, this would have been a hard one to do, because most of us get into this because we love teaching, or we just started teaching and then like, wow, I'm kind of good at this, and my students are progressing. I really like it. This is fun. And so then you take on all these students, then all of a sudden you've got 20, 30, 40 students, like, oh, it can't just be me anymore. I'd like to expand. You hire another teacher. And that's how most of us got started. That's how I got started. The problem with that, or one of the problems with that, is that then almost all your students know you as the teacher. And now when you want to offload them to another teacher, you might see a bump in your enrollment, or a lull in your enrollment, right? A drop off, because parents don't want the other teacher. They want you. You're the founder. You're the first teacher they had. You're the one they want for their child. They think you're the best. And so it might be hard stepping away from starting a class and then taking yourself out of it, starting lessons and then not doing lessons anymore and trying to pass them on to another teacher. So I would say, you always want to be working on the business, not in the business. And so many of us start working in the business, and it takes years for us to learn how to step out of that and work on the business. So, what I mean by that, if you don't know, is working on the business is marketing, is hiring, is putting systems in place, all of the stuff so your business can grow. Working in the business is teaching, is working the front desk, right? Those types of things. So those are easier to hire out for. You don't want to outsource your vision, right? But you can outsource teaching drum lessons or teaching piano lessons. You can certainly outsource somebody sitting at your front desk and taking enrollment. You can outsource, somebody building you a website that can do online, enrollment or registration. So that's what I would really focus on, is maybe keep your teaching to a minimum. And as soon as, maybe even before you start to get to that point where you're like, oh, I'm about to get overwhelmed, think, hey, I'm going to get like 10 students, 12, 15 students. And then instead of me taking on even more, I'm going to hire another teacher. Maybe that's the same instrument, so you can kind of watch over them. Maybe it's a total different instrument, so you can start expanding what you offer. And that way, you'll have more time right from the beginning to work on your business rather than in your business.
Okay, starting from zero, how exciting. It's such an exciting point to be at. You've got just your whole future in front of you, and you get it right, and it is going to go so well. So my advice would be, firstly, define your vision and your business model. So decide what it is that you wanted to achieve. Who are you trying to reach? Who is your target market? What is the vision that you have for your school in terms of what you're able to give back to the community? So, for example, you are not for profit. Will you only offer private lessons? Will you do group lessons, or online, or a mix of all of those? What instruments are you going to teach? Are you going to be a specialized school using a specialized method? Are you only going to teach adults? Are you only going to teach children? Do you want to start from babies and go right through to grandies? Like, be very, very clear on what your vision is and the business model that you are looking to employ. Secondly, super important, get your legal and business set up correct from the start. Make sure that you have the right business structure for you. Talk to people that are experts in the legal and business field. So get this right from the get-go. Surround yourself with knowledgeable people that can assist you now. It might seem like a really big step, especially when you're just starting from zero, but get this right now, and it's going to save you a lot of headaches later. So, for example, you've got to register your business name. If you're in New Zealand, getting a legal business number, opening up your bank account under the right names, making sure you've got your accounting software in place. You might want liability insurance, for example. Lots of things to consider, and really take your time with this step and make sure that you do your research. Think about your location. Are you going to start from home? Are you going to go commercial off the bat? Are you only going to be teaching online? Make sure that it is a suitable space that you can see yourself future-proofed in. So can you grow from here as well? Think about your curriculum and your pricing. Make sure that you, again, are future-proofing. Is this scalable? What structure am I going to use? How long are my lessons going to be running for? What curriculum am I going to be using? How much am I charging? Am I going with an annual calendar? Am I going monthly, per lesson? Am I doing discounted packages, etc.? And set up really clear systems and policies, again, from the get-go. Make sure that you are confident in how you want your school to run. So, for example, clear policies on cancellations, rescheduling, payments, for example. If you haven't gotten to the point where you're looking to train teachers and expand beyond yourself, that's fine. But it's super important to start recruiting now, so that when you are at the point where you need to bring in more team members, you're set and good to go. So you've got your clear expectations in place, your curriculum guidelines are in place, and a code of conduct, etc., etc. And then, of course, you're going to be building your student base. That may be, building a website, using social media, partnering with local schools or churches, using a referral program. This is the exciting part, when those students start to come in through the doors and you actually get to see your music school grow in front of your eyes. It is amazing. And part of that too is offering that amazing student experience. So making sure that you are retaining those students and providing them with the same experience that you are advertising that they'll receive. So if you offering recitals and performances, make sure that's something that you actually put in play from the beginning. Make sure it's a welcoming, community driven environment. Keep your students engaged, with progress tracking and rewards. Some people do wristbands, others have like a lolly cabinet, whatever it takes to offer that amazing student experience. Manage your finances, plan for growth, track your income and your expenses from the very beginning. Set those goals in place so that so for example, you might want to reach 50 students by the end of your first year, or, by the end of next year, there'll be 100 students, and we need to look at, adding new teachers, or maybe online options, or expanding the offerings that you have within your school. And lastly, just staying adaptable and improving.
If I was starting my music school from the beginning again, and I had 0 students, maybe I moved into a new community and there's nothing there that says my name, nobody, no familiarity, I don't even know anybody. What I would start with is getting out into the community and finding ways to connect with the maybe people that might be involved. Now, yes, it is a very important thing to make sure you've got something that people can kind of follow up with. Even if you have the most basic website, or even a Facebook group page or an Instagram, those things can be good enough. It does not have to be hugely populated. But one of the things that you could do is start with one way to bring people in, not private one-on-one style, but rather have a couple of kids, for it could be like a workshop type thing. And maybe you go and you hand out flyers and you go, hey, we're going to have this free event, and it is my first songwriting adventure. Something that even a non-instrumentalist would be like, oh, that'd be fun. Or maybe it is a Taylor Swift sing-along, or a Wicked sing-along right now. That's what that's what everybody's doing. But something where it's just compelling for fun, that you're going, okay, come in, meet me, see my ways, see my style, get to know the space a little bit. You can actually print out things. Now, technically, you wouldn't be allowed to like solicit outside of a school campus, but if there is a local park, you can do it there, and you can literally just kind of walk around and be like, hey, I'm a new music teacher in the area, and we've got this event in a couple of weeks, and hand out flyers, and hey, do you want one for a friend? Another place that you can do that, you can't solicit inside a library, but what you could do is go to the library and say to them, hey, listen, I would love to bring a free opportunity to you for our local community, and have it could be a bucket drumming event. It could be like I said, a sing along. It could be a youth choir for the day, or like, yeah, singer songwriter for a day, that kind of thing. Something that's intriguing to people who maybe are not looking for lessons necessarily yet, but getting people some face-to-face time in a free way, so that you can then start to charge for your, like, for a mini lesson where they come in and say, okay, is this actually, and I think I want to learn this lesson, and yes, I know a lot, or no, I've never touched the instrument. But getting out there, getting your face seen in the community. Now, if you're like, I am not going to go on a street corner and hand out flyers, that's totally fine. There are other ways that can be low cost, sort of free or low cost, but you can make flyers that go into different coffee shops or that kind of thing. But really, that as a music instructor, a big part of that is a mentorship. And so getting them in and recognizing that you are a positive vibe, you are a good energy that they want for their musician. And this can even be for adults as well. One of the places that I actually had some a good feedback from was actually a sign up sheet in a nurse's office once. I was working on an adult program and I gave it to a friend who was a nurse at a local hospital. And I said, "Do you want to just put this in, not the nurse's office? What am I saying? The nurse's lounge." There we go. I said, "Hey, will you put this in the nurse's lounge?" And she's like, "Oh, that thing sounds really fun." It was a sip and strum. And so I ended up like meeting some healthcare workers because they just saw the sign up sheet, or that was back when I was doing sign up sheets. Now I would do a QR code, but that kind of thing where you're just like, hey, introducing people in a very low pressure way to start to get your name out there and yeah, get the word out.
One thing that's really important, if I were to go back and start over again, I think one thing that I would pay a lot of attention to is the location of my school. That actually matters a lot. Where it's located, is it close to libraries? Is it close to elementary schools? Is it in a family friendly environment? Is it in an area that's close to like coffee shops and, grocery stores? Like, where it's located matters a lot. And so I think I would pay very close attention to where it's located, knowing that just by its proximity, you'll actually get a lot of students.
Oh, that was all such super amazing and valuable information. Thanks again to all of the amazing Build a Music School coaches. As I promised in the very beginning of this video, I'm going to give you guys the 3 things here that I would do if I had to start my school off, again, with 0 students. And again, this is helpful for you if you're trying to quit your 9 to 5, or maybe you're literally just in a spot where you're like, oh, I just need some fresh ideas and whatnot in order to grow my music teaching business. So the first thing that I would say that I would do if I needed to start back at 0 students is I would create a compelling or enticing offer that is so good that it gets somebody off the couch and ready to book a class with you. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, well, Nick, I already have my exciting offer. It's a free lesson or a trial lesson that's only $10 or something along those lines. And what I want you to do is really take a step back and look around you and think about your competitors. Because if your competitors are also offering a free trial lesson, well then why would I want to book with you over them? What's the reasoning behind that? What I really want you to think through is what can I do that is a better offer than what my competitor is currently giving. So if they're giving a free trial lesson, well, maybe one of the things you could do is you could say, all right, well, we're going to give you 2 lessons and they're only going to cost you $22. And so now what I've done is I've provided this entirely unique experience and this unique offer that other people in my area are not giving. And so the 2 for 22 offer all of a sudden elevates your program a little differently. Maybe you're going, I can't do $22, but maybe I could do 25 or 26 or 27. There's loads of different ideas that you can come up with. But what I really want you to do is think to yourself, what is unique enough that will get somebody off the couch? One other idea I'll give you around creating this enticing offer is to think through something like an intro to music program. So what about the kid who's like, I don't know if I want to learn piano or guitar or drums or whatever it may be. Well, we have this amazing program where it's $99, it's 5 weeks, and your child is going to get to explore all these sorts of different instruments. And so as a parent, now, what I'm doing is I'm looking at this whole situation and going, all right, well, this is actually really unique and really special. And so maybe before I wasn't even really thinking about music lessons, but man, this is a good deal. And I would definitely take this and just at least give it a shot and see what happens. These are the things that I really want you to think about. Not the idea or the offer that's going to get somebody who's, maybe going, yeah, I think I'm going to do music lessons, that gets them over the finish line. I want you to think about a compelling offer that is so good that somebody who maybe wasn't even really thinking about music lessons before, all of a sudden sees your offer and they're like, this isn't so good. How could I not take this offer? These are the sorts of enticing and really, really great offers that we want to give to people who are in our community. Get them off the couch and get them enrolled in music lessons with you. All right, the second thing that I would do would be I would leverage community groups. And so really what this looks like is you're gonna log into your Facebook and you're gonna join community groups for your area. So it would be like city name community group, or city name moms group, or city name parents group. You get the idea. And you're gonna join all these different groups and you'll start to get plugged into them. You'll start to be able to recommend different things, build relationships and whatnot. And then what you can do is start going in and posting in there about your school. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure you're giving loads of value in there, right? So sharing videos of some of your students who are performing, sharing parent tips, ideas, all that sort of stuff. And then what you can do is that eventually you get to take a picture of yourself, and say, hey, my name is Nick. I'm a community member here and I'm actually starting a music school and I'm looking for 5 kids who want to learn piano or 5 kids who want to learn guitar. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie it right back in to that whole idea of creating that really compelling offer that's going to get somebody off the couch and excited about doing music lessons with you. These are the ways that these things are all going to start to blend together. And so now we have our compelling and amazing offer. Then we're going to go into these community groups and really start sharing it. And we get 5, 10, maybe 15 students or so. We're now beginning to build our school. And so the third thing that I would do if I was starting from scratch again, starting with 0 students, is I would create a super amazing referral program. Because now that we have these students in the door, well, the cheapest and best way to really begin to grow our school now is by creating a referral program that gets kids and parents excited. And so for us, we really tackle both sides of these. And so we give an offer to the kids for, recommending their friends to do lessons with us. And then we also give amazing value to the parents. And so we play off both sides where we go, okay, kids, you can recommend us. Parents, will you tell your friends about us as well? And what you'll start to see is, these people who came in, again, maybe not even really being interested in music lessons, all of a sudden start loving music and become advocates for you. And so we're able to leverage these students that we have to then continue to grow our school more and more and more and more. And so those are the really big 3 things that I would do if I was starting back from 0. So I'd create that amazing, enticing, compelling offer. Then I'd get into the community groups, start establishing relationships and really sharing what I'm doing at my school. And then I'd start taking all of those students that I have and try and get referrals from them. And here's the deal. Now, if you're like, oh my goodness, Nick, this all sounds so amazing, but I don't have any idea where to start. How do I write the posts? What do they look like? How do I know what community groups to join? What about this referral program? What's your referral program? How do you, promote it? All that sort of stuff. Got great news for you, because if you are interested, we have all of these templates, these community group posts that you can basically copy and paste and put into these groups. We have spreadsheets that you can utilize that speed up the whole process in helping you build your school faster than ever, all a part of the Build a Music School membership. And I'd love to give you the opportunity to get a trial in the membership. All you need to do is click the link attached to this video, jump in, get stuck in, and check out the video in module 2 called Fast Ways to Get Leads. And it's gonna explain all of this stuff in there. I can't wait to see you in the Build a Music School membership.